Good morning to everyone, to my fellow BAC members, the Secretariat, Technical Working Group, and to our YouTube live viewers. Good morning. Today, December 7, 2023, Thursday, is a pre-bid conference for 9 civil works projects. But before we start, may I request everyone to please stand for the opening prayer.
Manalangin tayo. Panginoong Diyos, itinataas namin ang iyong pangalan. Pinapupurihan at pinasasalamatan ka namin sa lahat ng iyong mga ginawa at pagpapala. Salamat sa panibagong araw na ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. At sa oras na ito na kami ay muling natipon. Gabayan ninyo po kami sa aming mga gawain. Bigyan mo po kami ng talino at lakas upang magampanan po namin ang aming mga tungkulin. Buksan mo po ang aming isip at puso sa mga bagong kaalaman na aming matututunan. At nawa ay maging kagamit-gamit ang mga ito sa aming buhay at sa pagtulong sa aming kapwa. Ikaw po nawa ang maluwalhati sa lahat ng aming katagumpayan sa araw na ito. Ito lamang po ang aming dalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
Please be seated.
Manalangin tayo.
Once again, good morning to everyone. Okay, may I request the Secretariat to please show Okay, may I request the Secretariat to please show to our video screen the selection of our NGO representative. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Here's the roulette selection of observer for contract IDs 24BI0010 to 24BI0018. The selected observer is from Philippine Green Building Council.
that this pre-bid conference is now in order and officially in order. But before we proceed to the pre-bid conference agenda, may I read to you Section 22 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation and the latest GPPB issuances. In accordance with Section 22.1, for contracts to be bid with an ABC of 1 million or more, the BAC shall convene at least one pre-bid conference to clarify and or explain any of the requirements, terms, conditions, and specifications stipulated in the bidding documents. Under Section 22.2, the pre-bid conference shall be held at least 12 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids, but not earlier than 7 calendar days from the PhilJAP's posting of the invitation to bid or bidding documents. Under Section 22.3, pre-bid conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. The pre-bid conference is open to prospective bidders, and in case of procurement of consulting services, the shortlisted bidder, but attendance shall not be mandatory. Under Section 22.4, the minutes of the pre-bid conference shall be recorded and prepared not later than 5 calendar days after the pre-bid conference and shall be made available to prospective bidders not later than 5 days upon written request. Decisions of the BAC amending any provision of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental and or bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Under Section 22.5, which is the supplemental and or bid bulletins, requests for clarifications on any part of the bidding documents or for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted to the BAC of the procuring entity concerned at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. The agenda for this pre-bid conference are the following. Number 1, basic contract data. The basic contract data will be discussed by the technical personnel who prepared the detailed engineering design. That includes the presentation of the plans and other sections of the infrastructures. Number 2, requirements of bidding documents. This will be presented by Engineer Cecil Kempalong. Number 3, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, will again be discussed by Engineer Cecil Kempalong. Number 4, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examinations of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualifications and award. This will be discussed by Architect Ivy O. Salazar, the provisional member for all types of procurement. Number 5, agenda. Questions questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representative of the procuring entity. If there will any questions or clarification to be made by our prospective bidders. Number 6, other matters to be discussed, particularly on the projects presented. And number 7, the last agenda, summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins to be issued if there is any. So as I mentioned a while ago, we have 9 civil works projects to be discussed, presented in this private conference. And these are the contract ID 24BI 0010. This will be discussed by Engineer Mirtel Briosos Digamo. Contract ID number 24BI 0011. This will be discussed by Engineer Angie Reyes. Number 3, contract ID 24BI 0012. This will be discussed by Engineer Jeremy Soriano. Jeremy Miado. Number 4, contract ID number 24BI 0013. Engineer Philip Pagarigan. Number 5, it has a contract ID number 24BI 0014. This will be discussed by Engineer Joseph Adukul. Number 6 project. It has a contract ID number 24BI 0015. Again, this will be discussed by Engineer Joseph Adukul. Number 6 project. It has a contract ID number 24BI 0016. Again, this will be discussed by Engineer Joseph Adukul. Number 8 project. It has a contract ID number 24BI 0017. This will be discussed by Engineer Marston Degamo. And the last, it has a contract ID number 24BI 0018. This will be discussed by Engineer Mirtel Degamo. Grospe. Parang mali yung sinabi ko kanina. Engineer Mirtel Briosos Grospe Degamo. Okay? So, for now, we are going to discuss the agenda number 1, which is the basic contract data. The first to discuss is Engineer Mirtel Briosos Grospe Degamo for contract ID number 24BI 0010. Mirtel, please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, for the basic contract data of contract ID number 24BI 0010, name of project is Convergence and Special Support Program, construction/improvement of access roads leading to declared tourism destinations, tourism road infrastructure program, open and close parenthesis, strip, junction Daang Maharlika-Masoc-Ambaguio Road, leading to Mount Pulag National Park, Ambaguio, Nueva, Vizcaya. The location of the project is Ambaguio, Nueva, Vizcaya. Indicative approved budget for the contract is 2,450,000. Project description is construction of 0.06 kilometers by 6.10 meter width by 280 mm thick PCCP carriageway with a duration of 70 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 5,000 pesos. Source of fund is regular infra FY 2024 and pickup license size range is small b. So these are the following technical details of the project. The project site is located approximately 2.8 kilometers from Ambaguio Town Hall, and approximately 30 kilometers from Bayambang, Nueva Vizcaya. This is a continuation of the concreting project implemented this year, FY 2023. The yellow alignment shows the FY 2023 project and the red indicates the FY 2024 project. The FY 2024 project has a target length of 0.06 kilometers or 0.12 lane kilometer with a duration of 70 calendar days. Pinakita po yung 2023 project po. Continuation po kasi. So the project consists of removal of existing 0.15 meter thick PCCP, concreting of 0.06 kilometers by 6.7 meter width by 280 mm thick PCCP, concreting of 1.5 meter width by 150 mm thick PCCP shoulder on both sides, construction of curb and gutter cast in place, provision of rubble concrete slope protection works at Station 500 to Station 512.4 right side with a height of 3.5 meters. And lastly, provision of thermoplastic pavement markings. The aggregates for the project will be transported from the Vista Alegre Quarry of Magat River in Bayambang, Nueva Vizcaya, situated approximately 30 kilometers away from the project site. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Myrtle Grospe, Degamo. Do we have any comments, clarification, questions from our from our YouTube live viewers, Secretariat? There is none. So, do we have any amendments for that particular contract project? May we ask the provisional member from the Planning and Design section? Okay, Engineer Jermin Buenavista, any amendments from the contract for contract ID number 24BI number 10?
Yes, sir, Mr. Presiding Officer. I have an amendment regarding the project description of this project with the contract ID 24BI0010 for the increase of the width instead of 6.10 meters na width niya. I will change to 6.7 meters since this is the project is a tourism project. So the standard width is 6.7. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Secretariat, please take note. The width of the pavement is 6.7 instead of 6.1 meter.
Noted.
Yeah, take mo na. If the width will be increased, is there a revision of the quantities? Because the description is 6.10, width is 6.10, and then we're going to increase it by 6.7. How about the quantities? this it will be affected or not?
It will not affected, sir.
How? Not.
Because, sir, during the advertisement period, we mislook the width of the this description. So bill of quantity is not affected.
So you mean to say that there is a typo error in the encoding of the width of the PCCP, particularly in the project description?
Yes, sir.
Okay, noted. Secretariat? No changes in the... Teka, pero dapat sana kayo muna. Please take note lang, how about the provisional member for all types of procurement?
I have no amendments, sir.
No amendments? Okay, noted. How about the regular member? Okay, Secretariat, please take note that the only amendments is the increase in the width of the PCCP. And the quantities will not be affected since it is just a typo error in the project description. Thank you.
This is noted, sir.
Okay, for the second project, it has a contract ID number 24BI11, and this will be discussed by Engineer Angie Angel
Arhel.
Argel. Okay, Engineer Angie Argel Reyes. Please take it away, Engineer Angie.
Good morning, everyone. Allow me to read the basic contract data for this particular project. With contract ID 24BI0011, name of project, Convergence and Special Support Program, construction improvement of access roads leading to declared tourism destinations, Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, TRIP, access road leading to Lower Magat Ecotourism Park, Diadi, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the contract, Diadi, Nueva Vizcaya. Indicative approved budget for the contract, 2,450,000. Project duration, project description, construction of 0.125 kilometer by 6.1 meter width by 280 mm thick PCCP carriageway. Duration of project, 70 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. Source of fund, regular infra FY 2024. Pickup license, size range category, small b. So this project is a continuation of the PCC pavement, which was previously constructed under regular infra FY 2023. So ito po yung gagawin ngayong 2024. Extension lang po ito nung Station 5 nung under regular infra FY 2023. So next. So this is the existing pavement which was previously constructed, and this existing tire path is to be removed. The total length of the project is 125 meter with a width of 6.10 meters and a thickness of 280 mm. The proposed project also has a concrete curb and gutter cast in place since the terrain of the project is mountainous. From station 0 plus 760 to station 0 plus 845 left side, metal guardrails will be provided. The source of aggregate for both item 311 and item 200 is at Barret Bet Quarry, approximately 28.3 kilometers from project site. The source of materials, cement and RSB, will be in Solano, approximately 41.8 kilometers from project site. This project will be completed within 70 calendar days, inclusive of predetermined Sundays and holidays. So this is the typical roadway section with curb and gutter on both sides. And this is the typical roadway section with curb and gutter and metal guardrail. That would be all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Angie Argel Reyes. Okay. Um, Before we go to the further discussion of contract ID number 11, may I request Engineer Mirtel Digamo for project number 1, number 10? Meron ba tayong ding curb and gutter doon sa along Mount Pulag Road?
Yes, sir. Meron po.
What was the curb and gutter?
Cast in place, sir.
Cast in place?
Yes po.
For reason that the road is
Mountain.
winding and mountainous
Mountainous.
area,
Yes, sir.
wherein precast is not advisable. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, may I request the Secretariat if there is any comments, recommendations, or query about project number 11? No comments? Okay. Then may I request the members of the back if there is any amendment? I would like to start from Engineer Chairman Buenavista.
Mr. Presiding Officer, I have no amendments.
How about the provisional member for all types of procurement?
I have no amendment, sir.
Noted. How about the regular member of the back, Madam Veronica Leodovico?
I have no amendment, Mr. Vice Chair.
No amendments. Since there is no amendment for this particular project, then the advertised bidding documents from in the PhilJEPS and DPWH website will now be sustained or as is. Thank you. Okay, we go to contract ID number 24BI0012, and this will be discussed by Engineer Jeremy. Soriano. Jeremy, please take it away.
Good morning to everyone. I will read the basic contract data of the project. Contract ID 24BI0012. Name of project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, construction or rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Dumayup flood control, Tuao North section, along Magat River, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the contract, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Indicative approved budget for the contract, 125,450,000. Project description, construction of 780 linear meter concrete slope protection, steel sheet piles, embankment, gabions, and mattresses. Duration, 332 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 50,000. Source of fund, regular infra FY 2024. Pickup license, size range, medium B. For the technical details of the project site is located at Dumayup, Tuao North, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. It is approximately 5.11 kilometers from San Lorenzo Ruiz Bridge. The target length of the project is 780 linear meter with a project duration of 332 calendar days. Next slide. The structure is composed of concrete slope protection with a thickness of 0.20 meter and a total height of 5 meter. Reinforcing steel bars for the concrete slope protection is 12 millimeter diameter, spaced at 400 millimeter on center both ways. Next slide po. Next slide. The concrete slope protection was provided with parapet with a dimension of 0.25 meters by 0.50 meters, reinforced with 12 millimeter diameter vertical bars spaced at 400 millimeter, and two 12 millimeter diameter horizontal bar spaced at 400 millimeter diameter. The concrete slope protection is also provided with a walkway with a width of 1 meter. Next slide po.
Ibalik mo nga doon sa slide. Masyado kang mabilis. Hindi ka man lang nag-explain doon sa previous na slide. Ibalik mo nga dyan, Pan. Yan.
The structure is composed of concrete slope protection with a thickness of 0.20 meter and a total height of 5 meter. The reinforcing steel bars for the concrete slope protection is 12 millimeter diameter, spaced at 400 millimeter on center both ways.
From your typical section, you have gabions and mattresses. From the typical section,
Mattresses and gabions will be placed in front of the sheet piles from station 782
yes.
station 1.
Kasi nasa
560.
typical section mo yan, hindi yung bang pinakita mo gano'n, walang explanation. So, on the next typical section, do you have detail of the pile cap?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please proceed.
Next slide po. The pile cap is 0.50 meter by 0.50 meter in dimension with 12
Excuse
millimeter.
me, Secretariat, pwede bang pakisum mo yung detail ng pile cap? Please discuss the size, the width, the thickness, the width, the height, and the reinforcement.
So the size of the pile cap is 0.50 meter by 0.50 meter with a 12 millimeter diameter stirrup spaced at 200 millimeter on center and 716 millimeter diameter longitudinal bars.
Okay, please show the typical section of the sheet piles. Yung sa may sheet pile. Yung sa may sheet, yung sa taas. The same, yan, dun sa may right.
The sheet pile is 8 meter length, Z-type steel sheet piles, and with a nominal width of 770 millimeter, with a nominal height of 343.50 millimeter, flange thickness of 8.6 millimeter, and web thickness of 8.5 millimeters. Next slide. For the cut-off walls, it is placed every 50 meter within the length of the concrete slope protection with a 60 millimeter diameter vertical bars spaced at 400 millimeter on center and 12 millimeter diameter horizontal bars spaced at 400 millimeter on center. The footing of cut-off wall is 0.30 meters thick with a 16 millimeter diameter top and bottom bars spaced at 400 millimeter both ways. The aggregates for the project will be transported from the Bet Quarry section of Magat River in Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, situated approximately 6 kilometers away from the project site. That is all.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Jeremy Soriano. From the Secretariat, do we have any query or comments from our prospective bidders? There is none. So I would like again to ask the members of the BAC, particularly from Engineer Jermin Buenavista, the provisional member from the Planning and Design section.
Mr. Presiding Officer, I have no amendments regarding this project.
Noted. How about Architect IB Olivar Salazar?
I have no amendments, sir.
Noted. How about the regular member, Madam Veronica Jodevico?
No amendment, Mr. Vice Chair.
Noted. Secretariat, please take note that since we have no amendments for this particular project, therefore, we are going to sustain or let it be the advertised bidding documents from the PhilJEPS and DPWH website.
Noted, sir.
So we go now to contract ID number 13, and this will be presented to us by Engineer Philip Pagarigan. Philip, please take it away.
Thank you po. Ipipresent ko na po yung basic contract data for contract ID 24BI0013, project name of Organizational Outcome 2, Protecting Lives and Properties Against Major Flood - Construction / Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within Major River Basins and Principal Rivers, construction of Dumayup flood control, Tuao South section along Magat River, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of contract, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Indicative approved budget for the contract, 125,450,000 pesos. Project description, construction of 780 linear meter concrete slope protection, steel sheet pile, embankment, gabion, and matrices. Project duration of 332 calendar days. Cost of bidding document, 50,000 pesos. Source of fund is regular infra FY 2024. PCAB license size range, medium. For the technical details, construction of Dumayup flood control, Tuao South along Magat River, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya.
Pakibalik mo nga doon. Saang lugar na project yung maganda na yan na project na ginawa natin?
Sa Solano, sir.
Sa Solano. Particular sa Solano.
Sa inyo natin, sir.
Sa amin. Sa Nalugbunan? Yung Bangar. Ah, okay. Maganda pa rin. Hindi pa nasira. Okay, please continue.
Next slide po. Yung project location po natin. Yung location po natin is, for the project is nasa Barangay Dumayup and approximately located from the following location.
Excuse me, Dumayup is not a barangay. It is a sitio.
Sitio Dumayup. Yung project location po natin is approximately located from the following location. 10.9 kilometer from Bagabag Municipal Hall. Tapos 6 kilometer from quarry site natin for aggregates, barret bed section. Tapos for construction material, specifically for cement and RSB, kukunin natin ngayon sa Solano, which is 19.1 kilometers. Tapos yung sheet pile natin is kukunin sa Bayumbong, which is 26.7 kilometers. Next slide po. Ito po yung ating topographic plan. Tapos sa next slide po, ito po yung ating topographic map. Naka-overlay na po yung ating plan para mabigyan po tayo ng perspective dun sa ating i-construct na project. For the next slide po, yung ating detailed cross-section. So ito po yung cross-section natin. Yung structure po natin will compose of concrete slope protection, 200 mm thick, with a height of 5 meter from the pile cap. Reinforcement niya po is 12 mm space at 400 at both ways. Meron po siyang gabion na 1 by 1 by 400. Tapos mattresses po na 0.3 thick by 2 meters by 6. Mag-start po tayo from 00 to station 780. Tapos sa next slide po, ito po yung ating detail for the pile cap natin na 500 by 500 with 12 mm diameter stirrup space at 200 on center and 7 pieces na 16 mm diameter na longitudinal bars. Tapos from top naman natin po is yung detail natin ng parapet. Ito po. Magpo-provide po tayo ng parapet from station 00 to 780 na height po is 0.5 meters with a thickness of 0.25 millimeters. Ay, 0.25 meters. Tapos po,
Excuse me. Pakasi mo man ito nung makita DJ depth na. Depth cut of wall. Hindi ba kuha?
ay
Philip, yung depth
anchor,
ng cut of wall. Yun.
yung anchor po sa taas.
Cut of wall. Yung
hook po natin is
cut of wall yan.
1 meter po yung depth niya.
Depth, the thickness is?
0.2 po yung natin.
Okay.
Tapos, yung detail po ng ating sheet pile po is for Z-type steel sheet piles. Yan po. Width po is 770 millimeters with a height. Tapos yung H niya po is 343.50. Thickness niya po is 8.60 millimeters. Tapos yung isa pong thickness natin sa 8.5 millimeters. Same po yan dun sa previous nating project, sir.
Yung thickness, nandiyan ba yung thickness niya? Thickness ng sheet pile.
Yung 8.6 po. Tapos yung
8.6 millimeter.
yes po.
Okay.
Tapos the same po yung from previous project. Tapos next slide po. Ito po yung details natin for cut-off walls. Yung cut-off walls po natin i-place every 50 meters from beginning. Tapos yung vertical bars niya po is 12 millimeters. Yung vertical bars po is 6 millimeters, space at 400 on center, and 12 millimeters diameter horizontal bars, space at 400 on center. Tapos yung footing po natin for cut-off walls is magpo-provide po tayo ng top and bottom bars ng 16 millimeters space at 400 millimeters both ways. Tapos yung next slide po, yung beginning and end po ng project natin. Tapos, yun na po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Philip Pagarigan. Secretariat, Do we have any query, comments from our prospective bidders? Noted. There is none from our prospective bidders. Do we have any amendments from the bidding documents as published in the PhilJEPS and DPWH website? Engineer Chairman Buenavista, the provisional member, Planning and Design end user.
I have no amendments, sir.
No amendments, noted. How about Architect IB Olivar Salazar?
I have no amendments, sir.
Noted, no amendments. How about the regular member?
No amendment, Mr. Vice Chair.
Secretariat, please take note that there is no amendments on the bidding documents as published in the DPWH website and PhilJEP's website.
Noted, sir.
So we go now to number 5 project, which has a contract ID number 24BI0014. And this will be discussed to us by Engineer Joseph Adukul. Joseph, take it away.
Thank you. Hello, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning to each and everyone. For the fifth contract for today, with the contract ID number 24BI0014 entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Construction, Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within Major River Basins and Principal Rivers, Construction of Flood Control and Drainage Structures, FCDS, Package 4, along Magat River, Nalubunan Section, Quezon, Nueva, Vizcaya. The location of the project is located at Quezon, Nueva, Vizcaya. The indicative approved ABC is 144,750,000. The project description is construction of 900 linear meters, slope protection works, steel sheet piles with embankment. The duration of the project is 345 calendar days, and the cost of bid documents is 50,000. For the source of fund is regular infra for the year 2024. The pickup license size range is at medium B. PowerPoint presentation, please.
Dapat kasi yung
For the 24BI0014, it is located at Nalubunan. It is just the downstream of Madjangat Bridge, continuation of the existing rubble concrete. Next slide, please. This is the layout plan of this proposed project. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. For this particular project, sir, it has for the steel sheet pile, the length is 9 meters with length of 0.77 meters and 0.343.5 meters with a pile cap of 0.5 by 0.5 meters, and the thickness of the steel sheet piles is 8 to 9 mm thick. Hot rolled Z-type sheet pile. For the slope protection, it has a height of 5 meters with a slope of 1:1, and the thickness is 0.3. And at the top, it has a sidewalk with a total of 1 meter with a parapet of 0.5
meters height and 0.25 meters thick. And the embankment, it has a 6 meters of width of embankment. Then the at the back, the slope of the embankment is 1:2. I think that's all, sir, for this particular project.
Paki-con mo nga yung yung parapet, yung nasa baba. Yan, paki-enlarge mo nga, Donna. And then paki-discuss, Joseph, about the walkway and the cut-off wall.
Okay, for this particular project, the walkway, it has a total width of 1 meter with a parapet of a thickness of 0.25 and a height of 0.5 meters height of the parapet. Then at the hook,
The
yung
cut-off
parang
wall,
anchor, for the anchor, it has a depth of only 0.05 meters and a thickness of 0.3. That's also for this
the thickness of the concrete slope protection works is 0.3.
Yes.
Do we have any comments, query from our prospective bidders, Secretariat? There is none. Do you have any amendments for this particular project, Engineer Jermin Buenavista?
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. How about Architect IB Olivar Salazar?
Sir, I have a query regarding the
Query? What
yes,
is your
sir.
query, Madam?
Regarding the parapet.
Come again?
Regarding the parapet, yung nasa top, yung nakaganon, sir.
Yung parapet?
Yes, sir.
Yung may
Yung may
hook?
hook na ganon.
Oh, that is the cut-off wall. That is the 1 meter walkway. And then we have the parapet of 0.25 by 0.5. Yata?
My question is, walkway ba ang tawag talaga sa ganon? Kasi pag walkway ang tawag doon, ang alam kong standard ng walkway talaga is 1.20 na clear.
How do you call that? Kasi tinatawag niyong sidewalk, hindi rin naman sidewalk yan. Because it's not located on the road. What is the, okay?
Ano ba yung
From
tamang...
the planning and design section, wherein you are in the planning and design section, siguro masasagot ni Engineer Jermin Buenavista yan, what is the correct technical term to be called on that walkway or sidewalk of the slope protection works? Engineer Jermin Buenavista.
I think, Mr. Presiding Officer, this part of the structure is not a walkway or the sidewalk. Instead, it is a parang cut-off wall siya. It's a parang hook siya to...
That is not a hook or cut-off wall. Kasi horizontal siya eh.
Yes, sir. Pero yung kung titignan nyo sa structure, may kasama siyang parang ina-anchor niya yung...
Yes, that is
sir.
the cut-off wall.
Yes, sir. Yung
How
purpose
about
niya.
yung flat?
Ay, bali sir,
Footpath?
kasama siya sa purpose na parang protection from the slope protection.
What do you call
Yung
that
hook, sir.
flat 1 meter
Ay, yung
on
flat.
the top? Yun yung point of
Reinforced
discussion or
concrete
query
lang siya, sir.
ni Architect Ivy Olivar Salazar.
Bali sir, wala siya doon sa category walkway or sidewalk kasi meron tayong standard talagang size nun para sir.
Okay, anong tawag natin doon?
Reinforced concrete lang siya, slab, pavement lang siya, sir.
Pavement?
Part lang siya ng protection nung slope protection.
On the architectural points of view, what do you call that horizontal concrete, reinforced concrete? For the information of our prospective bidders. Okay, the right term is part of the slope protection works. Thank you. How about the regular member, Madam Veronica Lodovico? Do you have any amendments for that particular project?
No amendments, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, noted. Secretariat, please take note that this, for that particular project, which is under contract 24 BI 0014, no amendments. Therefore, we're going to sustain the bidding documents as published in our DPWH website and in our PhilJEP's website. Thank you.
Noted, sir.
Okay, we go now to contract ID number 24BI 150015. This will be again discussed to us by Engineer Joseph Adukul. Joseph, please take it away.
Thank you, sir. For the next contract, with the contract ID number 24 BI 0015, entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Construction, Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within Major River Basins and Principal Rivers, Construction of Flood Control and Drainage Structures, FCDS, Package 8 along Magat River, Baretbet Section, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. The location of the project is at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 144,750,000. The project description is construction of 900 linear meters slope protection works, steel sheet piles with embankment. The duration of the project is 345 calendar days. The cost of bid documents is 50,000. For the source of fund, it is from regular infra for the year 2024. And the pickup license category is at medium B. Next slide, please. The location of the project is the continuation of the previous project that was pre-bid last time. It is located downstream from San Lorenzo Bridge, facing left side. Next slide, please. This is the layout plan of the proposed project. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Again, this is the typical section of the proposed project. The length of the steel sheet pile is 9 meters of height or length. Then it has a 0.5 by 0.5 dimensions of the pile cap. Then it has a 5 meters of height with a slope of 1:1. And in the top part of this slope protection, it has a 1 meter of width. 1 meter width. Then the parapet, it has a 0.25 thickness and the height is 0.5. Then the embankment is 6 meters, 6 meters width. Then the slope at the back is 1:2. I think that's all, sir, for this contract ID number 24BI0015.
Thank you, Engineer Joseph Sanchez Adukul. Do we have any query comments from our prospective bidders, Madam Donna? There is none? Okay. Do we have any amendments from our bidding documents? Can we start from Architect IB Olivar Salazar, the provisional member for all types of procurement?
I have no amendments, sir.
No amendments, but no amendments. Okay. How about Engineer Jermin Buenavista, the provisional member, planning and design end user? Do you have any amendments for that particular project?
I have no amendments, sir.
Noted. How about our regular member, Madam Veronica Lodovico?
I have no amendments, Mr. Vice Chair.
No amendments? Noted. Secretariat, please take note that there will be no amendments for this particular project. But I have a suggestion. Pakibalik mo nga dun sa detail ng pinag-uusapan natin kanina about dun kung ito ay sidewalk o kaya ito'y footpath, ito o kung ito ay sidewalk, walkway, footpath. Paki-enlarge mo nga yung particular section na yan. Okay? Kaya hanggang dyan na lang siya. Okay. To our prospective bidders, we have a silent discussion a while ago regarding the right term to be used on that part of the slope protection works with anchorage or cut-off wall. Architect I.B. Salazar is the chairman of Republic Act about PWD. Anong BP 344, Batas Pambansa 344. We come up to a discussion that the width of that horizontal concrete be increased to 1.5, and then 1.5 less than the thickness of the parapet, sometimes is 0.25 or 0.3. To the implementing section, pakitignan nyo nga kung pwede, a part of the variation order, the thickness will be 0.3 to other implementing sections. 0.3 and the minimum height is 0.5. So much so that the 1.5 width, top width of 1.5 less than 0.3, meron pa tayong natirang 1.2, wherein on that 1.2, that is the minimum width required for a wheelchair. So much so that kung magkakaroon tayo ng beautification sa lugar na yan, and then maganda kasing sightseeing yung lugar na yan. From the previous presentation, makikita nyo kanina yung mga nagawang flood control projects from top view or taken from a drone. Napakagandang tawag doon, pasyalan at parang viewpoint para makita mo yung kagandahan ng ating Magat River. And then that is for tourism, for relaxing and other purposes. And then the cut-off wall will be uniformly 1 meter na siya. Hindi, kasi kanina merong 1 meter, ngayon merong 0.5. Gawin nating uniform para noon magandang tignan yung ating parte ng slope protection works. And then, anong magiging tawag, IB? Doon sa 1.2 na pwede na ang wheelchair? Walkway or sidewalk. Sidewalk? Hindi yata pwedeng sidewalk kasi not part of the road. No, it is a walkway. Later on, tataniman natin yan ng mga punong kahoy and then may mga solar lights. Oh, magandang beautification. Okay, any comment, Joseph?
Just an additional information. For this project, sir, we have installed a side drainage with a dimension of the bowl of 0.6 by 0.3. So the proposal of the architect that is to have a 1.2 clear space will be less by maybe 0.3 because of the side drain.
Okay lang yun, Joseph. Side drain lang naman yun. No,
Okay.
that's not a problem.
Okay, sir.
That is side drain for the whip holes at the parapet.
Yes, sir.
The spacing of the whip holes
Is 3 meters, sir.
3 meters? Every 3 meters,
Every
meron
3
kayong...
meters, meron tayong drainage, sir, palabasan ng tubig.
How about the other sections who prepared the detailed engineering design? Meron ba din kayong mga doon, drainage? Wala? Hindi sa drainage. Wala kayong drainage. Okay, we will broke that to the management kung kailangan lagyan natin ng weep holes or drainage dun sa ibabaw since the walkway is only 1.2 meters. Thank you.
Mr. Presiding Officer, maybe I suggest dun sa ano lang, sir, corner between the walkway and the parapet, dun maglagay ng parang hole niya palabas para hindi na magkaroon ng, ano tawag doon?
Slope?
Yung parang slope na, ano, na parang design niya. O, dun sa side na lang, sir, yung sa corner part para less lang yung mailagay na parang yung slope niya gano'n.
Siguro kahit ako para sa akin, kahit nawala ng weep holes doon, mas maganda para nun, and then yung slope mo na lang sa likod para yung water accumulated from the rainfall punta na lang doon sa part ng roadway embankment. Hindi ba, Joseph?
Noted, sir.
Okay. The advantage for that drainage, that will be magiging weekend point, magkakaroon doon ng vertical crack. Oh, so surutin na piman di dyan. Any more recommendation, Engineer Chairman Buenavista?
Yes, sir. Bali, sir, kung ang purpose natin for the wheelchair, mga ganun, sir. So, I suggest for the drawing, so, i-detail na natin, sir, yung drawing niya. So, kung minimum niya ay 1.2 and then the pavement, magkakaroon na siya ng brooming for the wheelchair, sir.
Not necessary. Siguro
Baka
magkaroon ng
matulas,
grooming.
sir, eh.
Hindi.
Medyo rough yung ano.
Oh, rough finish lang yun.
Madulas. Kasi yun ang parang
Hindi,
standard pag may
rough finish
wheelchair,
lang
sir.
naman yung ano natin. Wala naman siyang plain cement finish doon. Not necessary na lagyan mo siya ng groove o kaya ng brooming. Not necessary. Yes, Engineer Joseph Adukol.
Another query, sir. We have added almost 0.5 meters for this particular sidewalk. How about the embankment, sir? The longer the sidewalk, embankment should we retain the 6 meters width?
The same, okay lang naman din yun. Na, what is the width, what is your width?
6 meters, sir.
Oh, napakaluwang na nun. Oo.
So another 6 meters, sir?
No more.
No more, sir.
Parehas na yun.
Okay, sir.
6 meter total width.
Of the embankment?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Top width.
Yes, sir.
Okay na yun.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Noted.
Ayan, sumarno. Okay. So the next project to be discussed has the contract ID number 24BI0016. And again, for the last time, this will be discussed by Engineer Joseph Adukol. Please take it away, Joseph.
Thank you, sir. For the 7th contract for this pre-bid conference with a contract ID number 24BI0016, entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Construction, Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within Major River Basins and Principal Rivers, Construction of Flood Control and Drainage Structures, FCDS, Package 9, along Magat River, Nalubunan Section, Quezon, Nueva, Vizcaya. The location of the project is at Quezon, Nueva, Vizcaya, and the approved ABC is 144,750,000. The project description is construction of 900 linear meters slope protection works, steel sheet piles with embankment. The duration is 345 calendar days, and the cost of bid documents is 50,000. The source of fund is regular infra for the year 2024, and the pickup license category is at medium B. Next slide, please. This is the location of the proposed project. It's just the continuation of the contract ID number 24BI0016
1/4 of the Nalugbunan section. Next slide, please. This is the layout plan of the proposed project. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next, please. Next slide, please. For the detail of this proposed project, the height or the length of the steel sheet piles for this project, sir, is 8 meters. Then at the top of the steel sheet pile, it has a pile cap of 500 mm by 500 mm with a slope protection of a height of 5 meters with a slope of 1:1. Then at the top part of the slope protection that would serve as a walkway, it has a 1 meter of total length of total width with a parapet of 0.25 width and the height of 0.5. Then for the embankment, it has a 6 meters width, and at the back, it has a slope of 1:2. I think that's all. That's all for this particular project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Adukol. From the Secretariat, may we know if there are any comments from the YouTube Live? If there are no amendment, may we also know if there are amendments from our fellow BAC members, from the provisional member, from the Planning and Design section, Engineer Buenavista.
I have no amendments, Miss me, presiding officer.
Okay, thank you. There is no amendment from the provisional member from the Planning and Design section. How about the provisional member from the all types of project, Architect Ivy Salazar?
Thank you, ma'am. Meron lang po akong query again. As for my observations, may tanong lang ako. Ito bang same projects lang po ba itong organizational outcome from, I mean, scope of work? Kasi ino-observe ko kasi dito sa project description. Parang magkakaiba sila ng project description.
I am now giving the floor, giving back the floor to our Vice Chair.
Tapos,
Okay,
sir,
thank you, Madam Biron. What is the query again, Architect ID?
So, regarding po dito sa mga project na organizational outcome, ano po,
Okay.
para naman hindi po malito ang public, meron dito spelled out organizational outcome 2. Ito namang iba, OO2. Observations ko po.
Okay.
And then, pagdating sa project description, para kasi sa tingin ko pare-parehas lang po itong mga projects na ito. Tapos dito sa project descriptions niya, magkakaiba din po. Merong slope protection works, close and open, steel sheet piles. Ito namang isa, concrete slope protection, steel sheet piles. Ganun, sir. Parang, sa tingin ko, parang pare-parehas lang po sila, pero magkakaiba ng project description.
Okay.
Siyempre, of course, magkakaiba sila ng length or linear meter. Pero itong parang magkakaiba yata. Pare-parehas lang. Observations ko.
That is the query. Okay. OO2 and organizational outcome 2 is the same, parehas. But then, pakitig ng mabuti dun sa approved na GAA. The organizational outcome 2 is the same OO2. So, iba-iba kasi ang nag-prepare ng mga detailed engineering design. Yung iba, nagsha-shortcut. Yung iba naman is as per HCAP. From the Planning and Design section, Engineer Jermin Buenavista, what is the correct name of project? Is it OO2 or Organizational Outcome 2?
Mr. Presiding Officer, it is same lang, sir. You can use OO2 or organizational outcome 2. Since this is the category, the main category, but if the ano ba? From the central office, from the downloaded, so the same lang, sir. Sometimes nilalagay nila OO2 lang, but sometimes organizational outcome 2.
So it will be depending on the approved GAA. Kung lalagyan ng OO2, so be it OO2. Pag sinabing organizational outcome 2, ilalagay natin in words na organizational outcome 2. Hindi pwede yung the same lang sila. Kung ano yung nakalagay sa approved GAA later on, kung OO2, so be it na OO2. Pag ang nakalagay dun is organizational outcome 2 in full words, then susundin natin yung GAA. Since different person prepared the detailed engineering design, kung minsan shortcut nila na concrete slope. Actually, that is concrete slope protection works. From your same section, you were in the planning and design section, concrete slope lang ang sabi ni Myrtle, ni Marston, pero pag ang nag-prepare is from the maintenance section, slope protection works. And then the slope protection works, open and close parenthesis, is still sheet piles. This should be discussed or raised in our pre-procurement conference for uniformity. Rest assured to the members of the different sections and then to our prospective bidders in the next advertisement, and please take note, Engineer Jenmin Benavista, since all program of works or detailed engineering design pass to your office, please to see to it that kung ano yung nakalagay sa GAA, kung OO2, huwag siyang organizational outcome 2. And then for the slope protection works, kung ano yung right term na dapat ilagay na mayroong uniformity, kahit na ibang section ang nag-prepare, dapat parehas yung mga project description. Para noon, hindi magtaka ang ating mga prospective bidders bakit iisang department, iisang engineering district, iba-iba yung project description at saka yung name of project. Chairman, please take note.
Okay, sir. Noted, sir.
Any more query? Architect Ivy Olivar Salazar?
None, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you then. Hindi ko pa okay. So, any amendments from the regular member for project number 16?
No amendment, Mr. Vice Chair.
Noted. So, Secretariat, please take note that for contract ID number 24BI0016, there is no amendment. Therefore, we are going to sustain the bidding documents as advertised in the PhilJEP's website and in our DPWH website. Okay? Number 8, project to be discussed has a contract ID number 24BI0017. And this will be discussed to us by Engineer Marston Degamo. Marston, please take it away.
Thank you, sir, and good morning to everyone. I'm Marston Degamo. I'm here to discuss the basic contract data. The contract ID is 24BI0017. The name of project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, construction/rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Bakir-Santa Lucia flood control structures along Lamot River, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Indicative approved budget for contract is 115,800 million pesos only. Project description: construction of 720 linear meter concrete slope, steel sheet piles, embankment, gabions, and matrices. The duration of the project is 261 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 50,000 pesos only. Source of fund is regular infra for year 2024. Pickup license size range, medium B. Next. The slide shows a close satellite view of the project. If you are facing downstream, it would be 250 meters away from Lamot Bridge. As the legend shows, the proposed alignment is labeled by a red line, and the existing revetments are labeled by a yellow line. Next page, please. The slide shows the layout plan of the project, showing the total length of 720 linear meters constructed between or gap of two existing revetment. Next slide, please. The left picture of the slide shows us the existing concrete revetment at upstream, and at the right side is the picture of the existing concrete revetment at downstream, or at station 650 to station 720, which is at the end side na po ng project natin.
Do you have a picture presentation for that particular section, Marson?
Yes sir, meron po akong dinesign na...
No, yung pang topo plan, sana, para makita
meron po sir.
ng ating viewers.
Yes sir. Sa na po. Next slide po papakita. Yan po sir. This is the topographic plan.
Hindi, kung sa picture mo sana sa downstream at Ifugao side, mayroon silang slope protection works doon eh.
Yun na lang po kasi yung provided na picture sir eh.
Okay.
Yes sir. The slide shows the topographic view of the project, visualizing the contour of the location, alignment of the project, flow of the Lamot River. The slide also shows the physical location of the concrete slope protection, cut-off walls, gabions, and matrices. It also provides the latitude-longitude of the proposed project. Next slide. The slide shows us the typical section of the concrete slope at station 0 to station 650. The reinforcement of the pile is 60 by 60 and has a stirrup of 12 mm, and the main bar would be 16 mm. It would be discussed by the next page kasi meron po tayong kwan doon. More typical or mas malaking section po. And the steel sheet pile to be used is a Z type and has a length of 7 meters. The total height of the concrete slope protection is 6 meters with a berm at 3 meters, and the slope of 1 by 1 or 1 at vertical and 1 at horizontal, with a concrete parapet which has a dimension of 0.25 by 0.50 and an embankment of 5 meters. Next slide, please. The slide shows a typical section of the cut-off wall. The cut-off wall reinforcement from station 0 to station 650 with a horizontal bars of 16 mm, spaced at 400, and also a horizontal 12 mm diameter is spaced at 400. The thickness is 0.30. Next slide, please. Ito po yung, this section shows yung sinasabi ko pong part na at the end na po, yung sa may 650 to 720, because it has an existing revetment. We did come up the design na ihaharap na lang po namin yung slope protection para naman po ma-maximize yung design natin. Next slide, please. And ito na rin po yung sa typical po naman po sa may cut-off wall, connecting sa may existing po. Next slide. Yan, ito na, the slide shows us the reinforcement of the pile cap with a stirrup and an extra bar of 12 mm diameter, and the main bar of 7 pieces, 16 mm bars. Yan po makikita yung typical ng pile cap showing the reinforcement. Makikita nyo na po yung mga extra bars at saka yung stirrup natin, spacing, and top view naman po pag kinat mo yung section, makikita naman po doon yung spacing ng mga extra bars and yung stirrup po. Next slide, please. And finally, the slide shows us the isometric view of the structure with cut-off wall of every 50 meters. The staggered spacing of whip holes. Tapos, pinapakita naman po yung isometric view ng gabions and matrices na to use. And that would be the last.
That's all, Marston?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
all.
So, kasi may nag-query sa akin. Did you explain that yung separator or
Cut-off wall. Cut-off wall, sir.
cut-off wall is located every 50 meters
Yes,
of
sir.
the project?
Yes, sir.
That is a not a cut-off wall, but then kung tutusin mo, it is a concrete retaining wall. Di ba, Jermaine?
Sige, sir. Yes, sir.
Hindi mo naman pwedeng, so you're going to construct the retaining wall prior to the construction of the slope protection works.
Yes, sir.
Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Kasi kailangan magawa yan before na mag-embankment ka.
Yes, sir. Kasi yan na po yung parang magiging pattern niya.
Guide
Yes, sir.
ng slope ng slope protection works.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Secretariat, do we have any query, comments, suggestions from our prospective bidders? There is none. If there is none, so I would like to ask the members of the BAC if we have any amendments. Let's start with Engineer Jermin Penabistan.
Mr. Presiding Officer, a while ago we have a discussion about the sidewalk. So this is advanced mag-isip yung milestone. So ano na kagad yung 1.5 meters doon. So
I think
ayan.
hindi siya advanced kasi paki-ano mo nga, yung I think 1.5 na kaagad yata yung pinogram niya.
Oo nga, sir.
Na preempt niya na.
No, sir. Advance ka mag-isip na, sir.
Oo. But then from the presentation, may cut-off pa rin ba yon? Okay. Yun nga, tama. Advance mag-isip si Marson. Na-preempt niya na talaga na dapat. Let's give a hand to Engineer Marson Digamo. Yes. And then, meron ka pa bang ibang detailed na section regarding dun sa may parapet? At saka doon sa walkway?
Sa pinaka-una po. Sige po.
Yes, paki-zoom mo nga, Madam Donna. Hindi, yung taas. Yan. Okay. Siguro ang kulang na lang dyan, lagyan niya ng slope. Yung sa may walkway, papatakod, siguro mga 1%. Para hindi na kailangan yung mga whip holes ni Joseph. Kasi Joseph, pwedeng mag-cause yun ng transverse crack Okay? Any more, Jermin?
Nothing more, sir. So,
No
and
amendments?
I have no amendment, sir.
Noted, Jermin. How about,
Wait, sir.
do you have any amendment?
I have an amendments, but sir,
What is the
regarding
amendments,
this
Engineer
project.
Jermin Buenavista?
Yes, for the contract ID 24BI0017, maybe I mislook the second category of this project because this is the project with the construction slash maintenance only. Kasi lahat ng project na advertise, construction doon sa second category after the organizational outcome 2, yung may DAS.
Slash.
Ayun, yung construction slash rehabilitation. Yan, sir. Yung buong set ng second category, sir. Bali nagkamali ng ng entry.
What will be the entry?
So, the entry should be construction slash maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage system.
This is not a rehabilitation.
Yes, sir. Maintenance, sir.
Maintenance project fund ba ito? JA.
JA, sir.
Bakit?
Bali,
Construction
kasama to
maintenance.
sa insertion niya, sir. Bali, construction maintenance, sir, yung lumabas dito sa as per
As per HCAP
NEP. Oh, HGAB and NEP, sir.
and NEP.
Yes, sir.
So that will be the amendments?
Yes, sir. Amendments for the second category of this project. Yes, sir.
How about
Construction.
the other name of projects? Ito lang ba? 17?
Yes, sir. Ito lang, sir, ang naiba.
Okay. Sige.
And then another amendment, sir, is the calendar days from 261 calendar days to 328 calendar days, sir.
Okay, please take note, Secretariat. Any more amendments for contract ID number 2417?
No more, sir.
Okay, noted. How about Architect Ivy Olivar Salazar?
Slope protection.
Lagyan na.
Yung project description, sir.
Concrete slope.
Concrete slope protection. May protection.
Slope
Dapat.
concrete works. Slope protection. Papalitan lahat.
Sir, concrete slope ko na lang. Ay, sabi lang dito kasi, sir. Concrete slope.
Maintenance.
Walang protection.
Doon naman sa maintenance, slope protection work. Sukatan tayo.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Lahat kasi kung gagawin mo. Slope protection work.
Mali yung
naman?
Yes, sir. I suggest we,
For uniformity.
yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, procurement or secretariat, please take note that on the project description, gagawin nating concrete slope protection works, and then yung sheet piles. Kasi pag sinabi mong concrete slope protection works, handun na yung sheet piles, handun na yung pile cap, handun na lahat-lahat. With embankment, and then siguro yung steel sheet piles, pwede sigurong open and close parentheses. Ano? Okay? Any more?
None, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Secretariat, please take note. How about to our regular member, Madam Biron?
I have no amendment, Mr. Vice Chair.
Noted. So, Secretariat, please take note that there is an amendment for contract ID number 24BI0017, particularly on the name of the project. Instead of construction / rehabilitation, it will be construction / maintenance of flood mitigation facilities. Okay? And for the project duration, from 261 calendar days to 328 calendar days. And please take note on the preparation of the back resolution for the same category, there will be the same project description, which is concrete slope protection works, open and close parentheses, steel sheet piles with embankment. Please take note, okay? So we go to the last project to be discussed on the basic contract data. And it has a contract ID number 24BI0018. And this will be discussed to us by Engineer Myrtel Briosos Grospe Degamo. Myrtel, please take it away.
Thank you, sir. So for the last contract for today's procurement activity, contract ID 24BI0018. Name of project is Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Construction / Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within Major River Basins and Principal Rivers, Construction of Santa Lucia Bakir River Control Structure along Magat River, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Indicative approved budget for the contract is 115,800,000 pesos. Project description is construction of 720 linear meter concrete slope, steel sheet piles, embankment, gabions, and mattresses. Duration is 261 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 50,000 pesos. Source of fund is regular infra FY 2024 and pickup license size range is medium B. So for the technical details of the project site is located at Barangay Santa Lucia, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. It is approximately 5.5 kilometers from Bagabag Municipal Hall and near the intersection of Lamut River and Magat River. So the slide shows the yellow line is the proposed Santa Lucia flood control and the red line is the project Santa Lucia Bakir flood control. Next slide, please. So the target length of the project is 720 linear meters with a project duration of 328 calendar days. The structure is composed of concrete slope protection with a thickness of 0.2 meters and a total height of 6 meters with a 1 meter wide berm located at 3 meters from top of pile cap. The top of the slope protection is 1.5 meters with parapet with a dimension of 0.25 meters by 0.5 meters. The reinforcing steel bars for the concrete slope protection is 12 mm diameter bars spaced at 300 mm both ways. The embankment shall have a top width of 4 meters and a slope of 2 horizontal and 1 vertical. So 2 meters by 6 meters by 0.3 meters mattresses and 1 by 1 by 4 meters gabions will be placed in front of the sheet piles from station 900 to station 1 plus 320. Next slide. The pile cap is 0.6 meters by 0.6 meters with 12 mm diameter stirrups spaced at 200 mm and 7 16 mm diameter longitudinal bars. 12 mm diameters are added as shown for additional reinforcement. 7 meters Z-type steel sheet piles will be used with a nominal width of 770 mm, nominal height of 343.5 mm, flange thickness of 8.6 mm, and web thickness of 8.5 mm. Next slide po. So from design guidelines, criteria, and standards for rigid revetments, the length of one segment of revetment along the longitudinal direction should not be more than 50 meters. Therefore, cut-off walls or retaining walls are placed every 50 meters, with 60 mm diameter vertical bars spaced at 400 mm and 12 mm diameter horizontal bars spaced at 400 mm. The footing of the cut-off or retaining wall is 0.3 meter thick with 16 mm diameter top and bottom bars spaced at 400 mm both ways. So the aggregates for the project will be transported from the Santa Lucia Quarry in Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, situated approximately 4 kilometers away from project site. So that's all, sir, for contract ID number 24BI0018. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Myrtle Digamo. Secretariat, do we have any query, comments for that particular project? There is none. If there is none, then we're going to ask the members of the BAC if there is any amendments. Engineer Jeremy Benavista, do you have any amendments for that particular project, particularly contract ID number 24BI0018?
Mr. Presiding Officer, I have an amendments regarding the duration of this project from 261 calendar days to 328 calendar days.
Pakiwag mo yung camera mo. Uh, any more amendments for the particular project? The first amendment is about the duration. Any more? How about the title? Construction, rehab, maintenance, or the same?
Correct, sir. The title, correct, sir.
Okay. Thank you. How about Architect IB Olivar Salazar?
I have no amendment, sir.
Noted. How about Madam Biron?
I have no amendment, Mr. Vice Chair.
No amendments. Secretariat, please take note that the only amendment for contract ID number 24BI0018 is on the duration of the project, from 261 calendar days to 328 calendar days. Okay? So we have completed agenda number 1, which is the basic contract data. Okay, we continue to agenda number 2, which is the requirements of the bidding documents. And agenda number 2 will be presented to us by Engineer Cecil. Middle initial. Apa? Ano yun?
Abat.
Engineer Cecil Abat Kimpalong. Cecil, please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. For the requirements of bidding documents, let's start with Contract ID 24BI0010. For ITB Clause 14.2A4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 3 years. The accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award subject to DO 98 series of 2014 submission of construction safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment. For first aider with certificate of training issued by Red Cross in compliance to DOLE requirements for the approval of construction safety and health program. Required upon issuance of notice of award subject to DO 98 series of 2014. For ITP clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. 1 low bed, 1 backhoe with breaker, 1 payloader, 2 dump trucks, 1 bulldozer, 1 backhoe, 1 motorized road grader, 1 vibratory roller, 1 water truck pump, 4 transit mixers, 2 concrete vibrators, 1 concrete batch plant, 1 concrete screeder, 1 concrete saw, 1 bar cutter of 25 mm and 1 bar cutter 32 mm, 1 joint sealer, 1 bagger mixer, 1 backhoe wheel mounted, 1 concrete paver, and 1 cargo service truck. For the laboratory equipments, please refer to DO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and DO 127 series of 2018 strict application of RA 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. For contract ID 24BI0011. For ITB clause 14.2A 4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. Project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 3 years, and minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. For ITB clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. 2 payloaders, 3 dump trucks, 1 water truck pump, 1 cargo service truck, 4 transit mixers, 5 low bed, 1 backhoe with pavement breaker, 1 vibratory roller, 1 bulldozer, 1 concrete paver, and 1 motorized road grader. For the laboratory equipment,
Please refer to DO11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. For contract ID 23BI0012. For ITB clause 14.2A 4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following: project manager, project engineer, foreman, safety officer. The minimum years of similar experience with same position is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 3 years. For ITB clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following: 3 dump trucks, 4 water trucks, 1 cargo service truck, 1 low bed, 1 motorized road grader, 1 vibratory roller, 1 backhoe, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 1 bagger mixer, 1 concrete vibrator, 4 plate compactors, 1 backhoe, 4 crawler crane, 1 vibro hammer, 1 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, and 4 water pumps. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to DO11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. For contract ID 24BI0013. For ITB clause 14.2A 4B, the minimum work experience requirement for the key personnel are the following: project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety and foreman. The minimum years of similar experience with same position is 5 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 5 years. And for the safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 3 years. For ITB clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following: 3 dump trucks, 4 water trucks, 1 cargo service truck, 1 low bed, 1 motorized road grader, 1 vibratory roller, 1 backhoe, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 1 bagger mixer, 1 concrete vibrator, 4 plate compactors, 1 backhoe, 4 crawler crane, 1 vibro hammer, 1 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, and 4 water pumps. And please refer to DO11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. Contract ID 24BI0014. For ITB clause 14.2A 4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following: for project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman, the minimum years of similar experience of same position is 5 years, and the minimum years of total work experience same position is 5 years. And for the safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 3 years. For ITB clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following: for 1 bagger mixer, 1 water truck, 1 backhoe, 4 water pumps, 1 bulldozer, 1 payloader, 2 dump trucks, 1 vibro hammer hydraulic operated, and 1 crawler crane. And please refer to DO11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. Contract ID 24BI0015. For ITB clause 14.2A 4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following: for project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman, the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 5 years. The minimum years of total work experience with same position is 5 years. For the safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience is 3 years. For ITB Clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For 1 bagger mixers, 1 water truck, 1 backhoe, 4 water pumps, 1 bulldozer, 1 payloader, 2 dump trucks, 1 vibro hammer hydraulic operated, and 1 crawler crane. And please refer to DO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. Contract ID 24BI0060. For ITB Clause 14.2A4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. Project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman, the minimum years of similar experience is 5 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 5 years. And for the safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience of same position is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 3 years. For ITB Clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For 1 bagger mixer, 1 water truck, 1 backhoe, 4 water pumps, 1 bulldozer, 1 payloader, 2 dump trucks, 1 vibro hammer, 1 crawler crane. And please refer to DO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. Contract ID 24BI0017. For ITB Clause 14.2A4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. Project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman with the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 5 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 5 years. And for the safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 3 years. For ITB Clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. 4 water pumps, 1 motorized road grader, 1 vibratory roller, 4 water truck pumps, 1 backhoe, 2 dump trucks, 1 cargo service truck, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 4 1 bagger mixers, 1 concrete vibrator, 4 backhoes, 1 crawler crane, 1 vibro hammer, 1 welding machine, and 1 cutting outfit. And please refer to DO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. Contract ID 24BI0018. For ITB Clause 14.2A4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. Project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman. The minimum years of similar experience with same position is 5 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 5 years. And for the safety officer, the minimum years of similar experience with same position is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience with same position is 3 years. For ITB Clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. 4 water pumps, 1 motorized road grader, 1 vibratory roller, 4 water trucks, 1 backhoe, 2 dump trucks, 1 cargo service truck, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 4 1 bagger mixers, 1 concrete vibrator, 4 backhoes, 1 crawler crane, 1 vibro hammer,
one welding machine, and one cutting outfit. And please refer to DO11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and DO127 series of 2018 strict application of RE 9184 the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. Mr. Vice Chair, that's all for the requirements of bidding documents.
Third agenda will be documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. Again, please discuss this particular agenda, Engineer Cecil Kimpalong. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. For agenda number 3, may we listen to the pre-recorded audio?
Technical and financial components. Number 1. Technical component envelope. Class A documents. For legal documents, letter A. Valid PhilJibs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Or letter B. Registration certificate for Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And letter C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And letter D, tax clearance per EO number 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, letter E, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And letter F, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. And letter G, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license, or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures. And registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And letter F, original copy of bid security in the form of short bond. Submit also the certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And letter I, project requirements, which shall include the following. First, organizational chart for contract to be bid. Second, list of contractors' key personnel, for example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, safety officer, and foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid, with their complete qualification and experience data. Third, list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor, vendor, or the duration of the project as the case may be. And last, list of contractors' minimum material testing equipment which are owned as per Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. For letter J, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement o OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperatives, or original special power of attorney of all members of joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to do acts to represent the bidder. For financial documents, letter K, the prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities is stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And letter L, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity for NFCC, Class B documents. Letter M, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with the Republic Act number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Number 2. Financial component envelope. Letter N. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and other documentary requirements under Republic Act number 9184. Letter O. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. And letter P. Duly accomplished detailed estimate form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental used in coming up with the bid. And letter Q. Cash flow by quarter.
Sir, that's all for the technical and financial documents to be submitted by the bidder.
Thank you, Engineer Cecil Kimpalong. For the fourth agenda, this will be discussed to us by Architect I.B. Olivar Salazar, the provisional member for all types of procurement. Madam I.B., please take it away.
Thank you, sir. May we listen to the pre-recorded audio presentation. Thank you.
Pre-bid conference. Detailed evaluation of bids. For the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions of bidders specifically allow partial bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including or applicable bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive. But specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. Arithmetical corrections. Consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. The BAC shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be basis for bid evaluation and comparison. In case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Between total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Between stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Between unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding document. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the BAC its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR. The post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain all statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider but shall not be limited to the following. Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 25.3 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. Technical requirements. To determine compliance of the infrastructure projects offered with the requirements specified in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the procurement of infrastructure projects. Verification of availability and commitment and/or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment unit to be owned, leased, under, purchased by the bidder for use in the contract. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect IB, for the video presentation for agenda number 4. For agenda number 5, question, comments from bidders? Meron pa ba? No more? Other matters to be discussed with regards to the 9 projects that has been discussed by the technical personnel? Secretariat? Other matters to be discussed, particularly on the 9 civil works projects that has been presented or discussed by the technical personnel who prepared the detailed engineering design. Meron pa ba doon? No more? So, the last agenda is the summary of proceedings, including bid bulletin to be issued. So, we have a addenda to be issued in the form of a bid bulletin, particularly for contract ID number 24BI0017 for the name of the project. From construction/rehabilitation, it will be construction/maintenance, to include the project duration from 261 calendar days to 328 calendar days. And for contract ID number 24BI0018, with the correction of the project duration from 261 calendar days to 328 calendar days. So two contract ID with bid bulletin to be issued. Please take note on that two contract ID. Meron pa ba? Liban doon sa dalawa na yon? What contract? Ay, okay. Doon sa contract ID number 24BI0010, increase in the width of the road from 6.1 meters to 6.7 meters. Any more in the bid bulletin? Architect, meron pa ba? So hindi ko nabanggit. So we have 3 projects, civil works projects, with bid bulletin to be issued. Okay? Please take note on that, Secretariat. Any more announcement?
Yes, sir, we have announcement. For the upcoming procurement activity, we will be having a private conference on December 11, 2023, Monday at 9 o'clock a.m. at Procurement Unit Bidding Room, Main Building, DPWH Nueva Vizcaya First DEO, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. This involves 7 civil works projects, namely Contract ID 24BI0019, name of project, organizational outcome to protect lives and properties against major floods, construction maintenance of flood mitigation structure and drainage system, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Santa Cruz River, Barangay Salinas, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. The location of the project is Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract of 49 million pesos. And the project description is construction of 300 linear meters slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. Duration is 231 calendar days, and the cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos, and the source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. Second, Contract ID 24BI0020. Organizational outcome to protect lives and properties against major floods, construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of flood control structure along Santa Fe River, Barangay Aliaga, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. The location of the project is Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract of 96,500,000 pesos. The project description is construction of 600 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. Duration is 322 calendar days. The cost of bid documents is 50,000 pesos, and the source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. Third, Contract ID 24BI0021, OO2 protect lives and properties against major floods, construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of flood control and drainage structure, FCDS Package 6, along Santa Lucia Section, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 144,750,000 pesos. The project description is construction of 900 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile, with embankment. Duration is 345 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 50,000 pesos, and the source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. Fourth, with contract ID of 24BI0022. Organizational outcome to protect lives and properties against major floods, construction maintenance of flood mitigation structure and drainage system, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Magat River, Barangay Santa Rosa, Bayombong, Nueva, Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 49 million pesos. The project description is construction of 300 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. Duration is 231 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos only, and the source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. Fifth, contract ID 24BI0023. With project name of organizational outcome to protect lives and properties against major floods, construction / maintenance of flood mitigation structure and drainage system, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Magat River, Barangay Busilak, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 49 million pesos. The project description is construction of 300 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. The duration of this project is 231 calendar days. The cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos, and the source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. The sixth project with contract ID 24BI0024 with project name of organizational outcome to protect lives and properties against major floods, construction / maintenance of flood mitigation structure and drainage system, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Santa Cruz River, Barangay Barat, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 49 million pesos. The project description is construction of 300 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. The project duration is 231 calendar days. The cost of bidding documents is 25,000 pesos, and the source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. And lastly, with contract ID 24BI0025, with project name of organizational outcome to protect lives and properties against major floods, construction / rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of flood control structure along Magat River, Barangay Magsaysay, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 96,500,000 pesos. The project description is construction of 600 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. The project duration is 322 calendar days, and the cost of bidding documents is 25,000 pesos. The source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. So that's all.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Cecil Kimpalong. Any more announcement from the members of the back? No more? None? If there is any more announcement, may I request for the adjournment of this credit conference?
Mr. Bak, Vice Chair, in as much as we have already finished with all the agenda for this private conference for 9 civil works project, I now move for the adjournment of today's procurement activity.
Any second the motion?
I second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the adjournment for this private conference. Therefore, the presiding officer now declared that this private conference is now officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to our YouTube live followers. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat at magandang tanghali. Thank you.